Hello and a very warm welcome to Duke University's Liberal Arts program. My name is Gavin. I am a professor of the practice of global health in the Duke Global Health Institute and a professor of the practice of public policy over in the Sanford School of Public Policy. And I direct a centre, you can see the logo behind me, the Centre for Policy Impact in Global Health. It's a great privilege that I get to do that. We have a team, a very multidisciplinary team that really works on trying to solve big strategic problems in global health. And I'm looking forward to spending just a few minutes telling you a little bit about our centre and how the work that we do connects in to, I think, the kind of experience that you are about to have. So the reason that I wanted to start with my centre is that I think there's something about what we do that has a beautiful parallel with Duke's motto of science, in the service, knowledge in the service of society. With our centre, of course, research matters. We need to do the research to know the best ways to improve global health. But the clue is in the title. We are the Centre for Policy Impact. And it's not just about generating research knowledge, it's actually about putting it into practice to achieve large-scale change. And I think this Duke motto of knowledge, in the service of society really kind of gets at the heart, I think, of the liberal arts idea. You are going to acquire knowledge, for sure. You are going to learn tools and skills and new ways of thinking and critical ways of thinking. But at the same time, you're also going to think about how to communicate those ideas, learn about kind of effective ways to communicate these knowledge areas and these skills. And you're going to have so many opportunities to link knowledge to service, locally in the Duke community and in the Durham community, potentially nationally and even internationally. One of the most wonderful things I think about the experience you're about to have are the opportunities, remarkable opportunities for international experience, for example, through Duke Engage, remarkable opportunities, I think, to actually engage in research. There's plenty of opportunities for student research. And I think really extraordinary opportunities to be remarkably multidisciplinary. I think one of Duke's great strengths is the way in which the walls between disciplines, between departments, between schools are very low. And in fact, when I was being recruited to Duke, I came for 2 days of interviews. I must have met 40 or so people. One thing I heard over and over and over again was how collaborations and connections between disciplines are really prized at Duke, and I think you're really going to get a sense of that in the coming year. If you look at my centre, for example, the people in my team come from all walks of life. We have people with financing backgrounds, economics backgrounds, public health, epidemiology. We work with people from the business school. We work with colleagues over in the Duke Centre for International Development, with colleagues from the Duke Human Vaccine Initiative. And it's absolutely true, I think, that we are better able to solve problems by having this diversity of views. And of course, in our centre, diversity of people. We are a very international centre. Most of the people who I have hired to my team are from low and middle income countries. Most are people of colour. Diversity is an enormous strength, particularly in global health. You cannot be sitting in a university in Durham and try and help to address global health problems just with an American team. We're a very international, very diverse team. So I think there are great opportunities ahead for you. And I also want to say that I think my experience has been that there is the ability to pivot between areas, quite smoothly, and also an element of flexibility. I have, for example, been a mentor recently to an undergraduate who designed her own program, this program 2 opportunity. So if you have a particular interdisciplinary interest that isn't being met right now, or not being fulfilled, you can design your own program potentially, and follow your interdisciplinary interests in that way. I wanted to just say a couple more things. Firstly, there are, I think, tremendous opportunities to engage with faculty. For example, I frequently participate in the lunch program, the faculty lunch program. When I am teaching an undergraduate class, I let students know that I'm available for lunch. And what I tend to try and do is to organize groups of students who have a particular interest around a theme. And typically during the semester that I teach, once or twice a week, I will meet with groups of students around a theme. There's always, for example, a group of students in my class. I teach global health policy. There's always a group of students who are interested in the potential, the possibility of going to medical school later in life and want to find out the pros and cons of that. I'm a somewhat unusual professor of global health in that I first went to medical school, I worked as a physician, and I then went into journalism and then academic public health. So my career path is often of interest to undergraduates. So that's an example of a theme, or there might be another group that is interested in understanding how they can do some global health work whilst at Duke as an undergraduate. What are the avenues? So I think the lunch opportunity is just one example of many ways in which you can interact with faculty. I also have a very lively office hours. Students know that they get tea when they come for office hours. That's sort of something I'm known for. And it's genuinely true that office hours for me are one of my favorite times of the week, because the engagement from students, the questions that students ask, typically around papers that we're working on, just really kind of keep me on my toes and kind of hopefully sharpen my own teaching. When I'm pushed on certain areas of my own knowledge. It's absolutely wonderful. So much opportunity to be multidisciplinary. The flexibility is remarkable. The richness of literally every single day at Duke, there will be some remarkable public lecture or seminar, and it might be in something that you hadn't really thought you were interested in, and it could really open doors. And I would just encourage you to keep your eyes out and go for something that just piques your interest, and you never know where it might take you. For example, I now am a DJ at Duke. You may know that Duke has one of the oldest and most storied college radios, WXDU, and most of the DJs are undergraduates, but they do let a few boring old middle-aged professors like me DJ. So I have a show every Thursday evening. It's shut down right now because campus is closed. And the reason for mentioning it is that the studio, the WXDU studio, is in the Rubenstein Lounge, beautiful new arts center. And from just having my show there, I've come to realize there are amazing arts talks every Friday. Lunch is provided for free. And I've been to some truly remarkable ones. The role of puppeteering in improving the mental health of children, for example, or, the history of jazz. I mean, just topics that I would never really have thought about and that have been absolutely fascinating. So keep an eye out, be a sponge, and see all the richness that is on offer at Duke. So good luck. This is a very exciting time. It's obviously not going to be a usual experience right now. You will be wearing masks, you will be socially distanced. If you're in a classroom at all, you'll be under very different conditions, hopefully very small numbers, highly distanced, great ventilation. I'm not going to be teaching in a classroom because I'm too afraid, but we'll be meeting with students outside. So you may be having, workshops with me outside in masks. So it's going to not be a usual experience. I mean, these are our times right now, but it's a tremendously exciting time and a very warm welcome.